Address to the nation, the new king offered his condolences, of course, spoke of the sorrow of the nation and of a, quote, desperate need for unity and solidarity among Muslims. All right, I'm joined by phone now from Riyadh by the late king's nephew and one of the richest men in the world, Prince Alwaleed bin Talal. First of all, Prince Alwaleed, our condolences on the passing of your uncle.
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahim. Many thanks, Hala, for your condolences. Thanks a lot.
All right, I want to ask you first off, you were at the funeral. Tell us a little bit more about this day.
Yes, we were today at the funeral at around 4 o'clock. Late King Abdullah was buried, and we had a big number of dignitaries that came from our region and came from some international countries. And clearly, still many leaders are arriving as we speak. It was very touching moment, whereby the king was buried, and I was on his grave also. But 3 hours later, King Salman and his Crown Prince Migran were chosen, and we gave the allegiance to them, and a huge number of the Saudi population came to give the allegiance also, which will continue tomorrow and after tomorrow.
So what's going to change here? Because we have the appointment of King Salman, who's an older gentleman, almost 80 years old, the Crown Prince, Mughren, and then there's the Deputy Crown Prince, the Interior Minister, Mohammed bin Nayef. Is that the sort of younger generation coming through?
Well, yes, Prince Salman is 79. But I have to assure you that Prince Salman's spirit is way younger than the 79 that he has. Prince Migran is 69, and clearly you can say that Prince Migran is really in the middle between the old generation, the second generation, the King Abdullah's sons, and the new generation, which is represented by Prince Mohammed bin Nayef, who is now a third in command in Saudi Arabia. So I think this trio really will give a boost to have the advancement of the reforms that began with King Abdullah will give it a big boost, I think.
But Prince Alwaleed, we've spoken about this before. The pace of reform in the country that some see as being too slow. They look at human rights issues. They look at jailed bloggers and the lashings and things, and they say Saudi Arabia needs to speed things up at this point. Will it happen, do you think?
Oh, I'm not about to defend my nation here. I'm telling you, I'm also frustrated from the speed. I want this thing to speed up, and I'm full agreement with you that I think our reforms on the political front, social front, economic front, and even financial front has to be expedited and to be faster. I'm with you on that matter, and I think that we will see this happening right now with the new trio that you have right now, represented by King Salman, Crown Prince Migran, and the third in command, Prince Mohammed bin Nayef.
So you have confidence things will change, that this is good for the future of your country?
Well, I mean, this is my wish, and that's my confidence right now. But at the end of the day, this has to be proven on the ground. And rest assured, if this thing doesn't happen, I will keep pushing and go public with my thoughts and my ideas.
One quick last question, Prince Alwaleed. Did you have the opportunity to exchange words with your new king, King Salman?
Oh, yes. I met him today at the burial place. I met him at the grave, and I met him when he gave our allegiance. So I met him 3 times today, and also met the second in command and third in command 3 times today. So yes, we are very close to each other. Yes.
All right. May I ask what words you exchanged?
Well, I just told them I told all the 3 that they have my allegiance, they have my support, and that I hope that that the reforms that began with King Abdullah will continue at an accelerated speed.
Prince Alwaleed bin Talal joining us from Riyadh. Many thanks there for your time this evening.
Pleasure to be with you on CNN.
All right. Saudi Arabia's new king takes the throne at a time of great turmoil in the region, of course. Senior international correspondent Nick Robertson joins me now to talk more about that. You heard Prince Alwaleed bin Talal there saying, I'm not going to argue with you about the slow pace of reform. I hope it goes quicker. This trio that he's talking about, the king, the crown prince, and the deputy crown prince. So will this be different?
It's certainly an aspiration, and we've heard Prince Alwaleed bin Talal really put his own reputation on the line with this aspiration as well. There are limits to what leadership has been able to achieve. Perhaps by the time we get to Prince Mohammed bin Nayef, maybe more Western-educated, younger generation, hot, on the security front.
Tough guy, too. Interior Minister, led the fight against terrorist elements in Saudi.
Al-Qaeda tried to blow him up. They got a suicide bomber standing in front of him. It injured his hand. So this is a man who's got a visceral approach to tackling terrorism in the country. But the real problem for the king right now is the problem that he faces on his borders. This is a tumultuous time in the region. So these aspirations for change internally, I think the king's got a lot to focus on his borders.